Hello, and welcome to the first episode of DeadLeggedGamers Steins. I will be doing a complete series of this, maybe even a second run through, since it's technically a visual novel dating sim game, if you can count it as that. You might be able to hear my voice, but I'm ecstatic to play this game. I've been downloading it for the past 2 days. This game is just it's a game version of one of my top 5 anime. I couldn't possibly put my top 5 anime into a list, but I've got like top 5. What? Well, I didn't know that existed. I'm so happy I waited a bit for that to happen. A bit loud though. Hope it didn't blast your guys' ears out. I'll put an annotation to tell you guys to watch out. As I was saying, top 5 anime. I don't know if I should mention this or not. Don't go going back to see if you can find anything, but there were some major spoilers in that opening. I've of course seen the anime at least 3 times before because it's top 5, and you know, top 5's top 5. This is, I can't actually. Right now you can see it in full screen, but I'm not actually in full screen myself. For some reason, not able to until you go into full game. I've watched maybe played the first 5 minutes of it. Things like extras, the achievements and clear list, but tips seem to crash the game. Here's my settings if anybody wonders. Not many things, I just put down the volume a bit. Actually, I'm going to turn this on because I laughed my head off when I heard this. Also, just a shock to you guys now, if this kind of puts you off the game, then just don't watch now. The voices will be in Japanese. There'll be subtitles, and whenever there's not voices, I'll try to like talk, like when Okabe, whenever Okabe talks, when Okabe talks, when Okabe thinks, I'll be saying what he's thinking probably. There'll be times where I'm not talking though, because that would just like hurt my head. So this and so Japanese voice. So here's a bit of what you're going to be hearing. If you couldn't guess what he just said, he said Hoin Kyoma, mad scientist. This is a visual novel, so you guys got to get ready because this isn't going to be like a game. There's not going to be like me punching the crap out of things or first-person shooter. Visual novel is basically a book, except I can make choices. So it'll be just lots of reading. If you guys are turned off by that again, just don't watch it. And well, that's all. Time to start. I'm pumped. I've played the first 5 minutes. 全ては偶然だ。だがその偶然はあらかじめ決められていた世界の意志でもあった。俺はイカれてなどいない。至って正常だ。
ここでは真実を語っているんであって、断じて中二病の妄想なんかじゃない。きっかけはほんの些細なことだとしても、それが未来の大きな流れを決定づけてしまうこともある。バタフライ効果という言葉を知っているか？知らないなら調べるのだ。それぐらいの慎重さが求められているのだということを理解しろ。残念ながら俺は慎重じゃなかった。自分の愚かさを分かっていたら、あいつを失うことになんてならなかった。未来をこんな形にしてしまうなんてこともなかった。分かるはずがないだろう。その瞬間の自分の手に人類全ての運命を決定づけるような重大なターニングポイントのスイッチが握られているなんていうことは分かるはずがないんだ。考えてもみるがいい。普段の人間の知覚は 99% が遮断されている。人は自分で思っている以上に愚鈍な生き物なんだよ。普段の生活の中に生まれている何気ないことなど気にも留めないし、知覚したとしてもすぐに忘れるか脳が処理をしないかのどちらかなんだ。あの時の俺に言ってやりたい。迂闊なことをするなと、軽率なことをするなと、見て見ぬふりをするなと、もっと注意を払えと。陰謀の魔の手は思った以上にずっと身近にあって、いつでもお前を陥れようと手ぐすね引いているのだと。
Epic. Oh, I'm so pumped.
宇宙に始まりはあるか、終わりはない。無限。星にもまた始まりはあるが、自らの力を持って滅びゆく。有限。英知を持つ者こそ最も愚かであるのは歴史からも読み取れる。海に生ける魚は陸の世界を知らない。彼らが英知を持てばそれもまた滅びゆく。人間が光の速さを超えるのは、魚たちが陸で生活を始めるよりも滑稽。これは抗える者たちに対する神からの最後通告とも言える。
This game is developed by 5PB or 5BP. I can't actually tell. Here we go. Well, let me change all the settings now. Full screen. Hello, and welcome back to that abrupt finish earlier when, unfortunately, the game had crashed a bit. Let me just finish talking here. Yeah, apparently I can't record and go into full screen at the same time. Or I can, I just went into full screen now, but before I started the recording, so that seems to work. No sound is coming from the phone. I'm holding it against my right ear. A perfect silence. Strong summer sunlight is hitting me. Sweat is slowly flowing down my chin and dropping onto the asphalt below. You can see how this is a book now, can't you? The slowness of this text annoys me so much. In front of me stands a girl. Tilting her head, she calls my name. Her facial expressions hold the innocence of a middle school girl. She doesn't seem to understand that we're wading into an enemy territory, nor does she sense even a bit of tension in the air. After placing my hand on the mic of my phone, I put my index finger to my mouth. A gesture asking for silence. I nod my head and return the phone to my ear. The other end of the phone still emits no sound. They probably became silent as our conversation was something that shouldn't be spread lightly.
いや、こちらの話だ。問題ない。これより会場に潜入する。
Green Tarot, I love that name. Wait, no, that's not Green Tarot. What the fuck? Maybe that's the place? I'm not sure. I thought his name was Okube Rin Tarot. Oh. Okay, fine. Yeah, that's his name. Same as always, the other party is silent. Apparently, they're only listening to my progress report. A rational decision. Having a regular conversation here would be far too risky and foolish.
ドクター中鉢は抜け駆けをした。たっぷりとその考えについて聞かせてもらうつもりさ。何？機関が動き出しているだと。
Up there you saw a little tip showed up. I know that if I go into the tips option here, if I go into the tips option, which I won't because that crashes the game, more stuff to crash. So I won't be doing that. And it's also in Japanese, so I wouldn't be able to read it anyway. I think all of the kind of helps and tips and achievements are in Japanese. There's a patch for that, but I'm way too lazy to get it. I widen my eyes and exclaim in a shocked manner. The girl turns towards me in surprise. I'm currently talking about his thoughts, but at times I'm probably just gonna stop talking. I'm also rather tired right now. Or more like she was already staring at me. While shaking my head and pressing my temple, I quickly let out a deep sigh.
そうか。それがシュタインズゲートの選択か。エルサイコングル。
I love that password. El Sai Kongu. Saying the password, I bring the phone away from my ears and place it in my breast pocket. Steins Gate. One could call it the will of the gods, or perhaps even fate. There are only a few people who know of its existence. Anyways, let's go ahead and start the infiltration. I pick up my feet and move towards the radio center by the station. This is an infiltration into the enemy's territory, so I cannot take the risks of mindlessly breaking in. Ignoring the elevator and escalator, I took the stairs towards the 8th floor, which is also the topmost. However, I used all my strength upon reaching the 7th.
さっき携帯で誰と話してたの？
Oh, in case you guys didn't pick up on it, Okabe is a little bit insane, as you'll find out even more later. He wasn't actually talking to anyone on the phone, he's just kind of insane. He's always like, the organization's onto me, even though he's talking to no one. That whole, like, they're not picking up thing is just bullcrap. He has nothing on the phone. He uses it to get out of situations, and he's kind of like, I think it used to be an act, but he's just kind of slipped into it now. He is Ho-Ho-Ween Kyoma. The girl who had caught up with me, Shina Mayuri, asks me that while being perfectly fine. Due to my loss of energy after going up the stairs, I put my hands on my knees and take a deep breath. Apparently, using the stairs wasn't a good idea. It's too intense. After wiping off the sweat running on my forehead, I face Mayuri again.
聞くな。それがマユリのためでもある。
Now would be a nice point that you can see her. I'm not sure if you can see my mouse, but the art style for this anime is amazing. Or not anime, visual novel. The anime is a lot different, but the opening to the anime, Hacking to the Gate, has this this exact kind of style to it. Also the ending and some points when he's going on the divergence barrier. Although she looks a bit like a cat with the cat mouth. Anyway.
あ、そうなんだ。オカリン、ありがとう。
Mayuri smiles happily. She truly is very perceptive. She understands the position I'm in and doesn't meddle any further. She is my childhood friend. A 16-year-old female high school student younger than me by 2 years. She's more like a little sister to me rather than a childhood friend. Wait a second. If she's 16 and younger than you by 2 years, then you're 18. But you look so old, and you act so insane. Whatever. Our places of residence are in the same neighborhood, and we spent a lot of time together since long ago. I once thought that Mayuri had the qualities to be burdened with the cruel fate of being key to the Steins Gate. Just now, the idea came to me again. I want her to always be by my side. Cute. That's a modest wish that I thought of just now. For those that don't know, this is a visual novel. I'll read this in a second. This is a visual novel, so there's multiple endings with the different girls. As you saw in the opening, I think you can be with anybody in there except for Part-Time Girl and Moeki. You can even end up with Mayuri and stuff. But I'm going to be trying to go for the original route, the true ending, because there's a little, well, almost DLC bit at the end if you pick that route. I'm not going to say who it is, though. It's probably pretty obvious later on. As for the other games made by 5PB, checked it now. Like Robotic Notes and things. Like when I just finished watching Robotic Notes the other day, and by other day I meant last night when I stayed up all night watching it. I was really saddened by the choice he picked. It was obviously the one he was going to pick. I knew he was going to pick her, but I was kind of sad because I wanted him to end up with one of the other girls. So I will be playing all the games by 5PB, or at least this series of the science adventure novels, including Chaos Head. So, and I'll be picking someone else than the true storyline. Upon entering the assembly hall on the 8th floor, we're greeted by a cheap-looking setup. A sign says, Dr. Nakabachi's time machine invention press conference.
それよりオカリン
She's been calling me that for a while now, but that's neither my real name nor my code name. It's a nickname. She's given it to me, and that even I don't like. No, she's given me that even I don't like. How does that? Oh, it's a nickname.
Mayuriよ。いつも言っているだろう。俺のことをオカリンと呼ぶなと。
でも昔からそう呼んでたよ。
それは昔の話だ。今の俺は法院京馬。世界中の秘密組織から狙われる狂気のマッドサイエンティストだ。
He's a bit here. This is like the prime example of him being absolutely insane. Mad scientist. It's so cool.
だって難しくて覚えられないし。
Anyhow, Ho-Ho-Win Kyoma is my true name. I like being him now because now I don't get to just watch Ho-Win Kyoma go through his daily life. I am him now.
それに岡部倫太郎と一文字も合ってないよ。おかしいね。
Her laugh is even creepier. She smiles with honest happiness. By the way, Okabe Rintaro is my real name, but I don't like it because it sounds stupid. And due to that, I dislike the nickname Ocarine, which was taken from my real name. Anyway, Ocarine? Seriously? Sounds like one of those yellow buckets they have in bathhouses.
でね、オカリン。
This is as far as I played, by the way.
教えてほしいんだけど。
Looks like she doesn't understand. She's been calling me that for 5 years, so now I'm halfway towards giving up.
これからここで何が始まるの？
お前はそれも知らずここまで俺についてきたというのか。
She smiles while nodding. This is the Tokyo Radio Center in Akihabara. The 8th floor. Here is an event space.
これからここで始まるのはドクター中鉢の記者会見だ。
Dr. Nakabachi is an inventor, a famous person who often appears on TV and holds some patents. Though the world in general sees him as nothing more than a lunatic, just like you, except nobody knows you.
記者会見？でも記者さんなんて見当たらない気がするよ。
It's just like Mayuri says. I took a glimpse into the inner part of the assembly hall, but I didn't see neither camera, no, that's just weird. It looks like there's a space there. Cameramen, nor people that look like reporters. Not even one. When you consider that, this is more like a presentation than a press conference. Including me, there were about 10 men idling around. Yes, just 10. Considering Nakabachi's popularity, and this event touches on a subject of successful development of a time machine, there shouldn't have been much more people here.
あるいは機関による何らかの妨害を受けたのかもしれないな。
Yep, definitely. Organization, they're always sticking their head into places it doesn't belong. Muttering with desertion. I make a forced reaction and strain my lips. Nakabachi is not my acquaintance, but he's a person who was on the same side as me. However, he resigned and left us. The organization couldn't overlook this timing.
巻き込まれるのは勘弁だがな。
Nonetheless, I'm very interested in what he has to say. That there is a reason why I came here, wasting an early afternoon of my precious summer holiday. After thinking about what I just mumbled to myself, Mayuri tilts her head after a lengthy pause.
巻き巻きトカゲ？それを言うならエリマキトカゲだね。
Yes, Mayuri, you are so smart and cute. I let out a sigh, laughing at her own silly retort. What a nonchalance. Well, but she's always like that.
マユリ、気をつけろ。おそらくこの記者会見、何らかの事件が起き。
Right when I was saying that. What is this sound? An electromagnetic wave attack? Whoa. The floor is slightly shaking. Definitely an attack. From above? However, the 8 floors were on the utmost we're on the topmost. It's from above, so it can only be the roof. I'm gonna paraphrase some things.
震度 2？ マグニチュード 2？ 震度とマグニチュードってどう違うんだっけ？
I don't have time for this. We must go to the roof. See who that is. Of course, I know who it is. I leave the troubled girl. Feeling something bad, I rush out of the assembly hall. Disregarding the sign that says no entry, I run to the staircase which leads to the rooftop. For some reason, the door to the rooftop is open, or more like the lock is broken. Just as I open the door, I see lots of black smoke rising up. Moreover, for some reason the air is filled with a rainbow-colored... really? Phosphorescence light dancing around.
爆発だと。
I try to fake surprise, but wait. Is this seriously an explosion? This is bad. My chest is starting to throb. My heart is beating faster. What course of action should I take? Should I run away? But why an explosion? Terrorism? I don't really think that's it. Why? Because there's a strange object placed in the very middle of the empty space of the rooftop?
なんだこれは。
What is this? Oh, he said that already. Fuck. This is a mysterious piece of machinery, considerably large, about 3 meters or more in height. Is this a space satellite? Is this the cause of all the shaking and flying matter around? Who would put such a thing here? Was this thing prepared by Nakabachi? Does it have something to do with the presentation? Even if, hypothetically speaking, this was true, then how would he get this thing up here? The rooftop of an 8th floor building. My head is full of questions. Obviously, I will not find the answer by asking myself. While I'm hesitating on whether or not I should come closer to the mysterious object, some people, probably the staff of the radio building and the press conference, start to come through the staircase. Everyone as bewildered as I am. And so one of the women who I think is one of the staff, starts to approach us while waving both her
記
hands.
者会見は予定通り始めますので、もうしばらくお待ちください。
Is she trying to hide something? The situation was dealt with awfully quickly. I was kept away from the object that looks like a satellite.
これは匂う陰謀の匂いだ。何を隠したいんだ。さっきの爆発は何だ。
I mumbled and tried to arrange my thoughts. It's bothering me. It's bothering me, but I should really try to avoid danger for now. It's not like I got scared or anything. Led off by the officials, I returned to the 8th floor. Mayuri wasn't in the assembly hall. After a short search, I found her in the hall of the 7th floor, under a plate which says, "The land of Japan's PC origin." Capsule toys were lined up. She's gazing at them with a greedy look. Feeling great relief, I take out my phone. That's all for this episode. What's that thing on the roof? Tune in next time to find out, although you won't find out for a goddamn long time. But tune in next time to find out what happens next. Why is Mayuri greedily staring at a capsule toy machine? Who knows? Maybe she wants one, maybe she doesn't. I'll save the game for now though.